Recording. Good evening, everybody. Dr. Glow here with Black Girl Everything. And I have the most beautiful Rose with me today. Hello, darling. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
I'm so excited to have you on. You're like one of the most magical people that I was able to meet last year. You have all the personality. I follow everything you do on Facebook. I'm incredibly proud of what you have gained in the last year, ultimately. So I'm excited to talk about that today so we get to a little bit know about you. So what is the name of your business?
The name of my organization is called The Journey to a Better Me.
And where did that name come from?
You wouldn't believe that I was on a train.
Really?
It came to me on the train. I had a vision in my mind and it came to life. I literally put it down and by mistake and it came about as a page. I have a couple of pages on Facebook. I'm very active with different groups and things like that. And when I was on the train coming from 168th Street, a long hour-long ride, it came to me. And by the time I got off the train, I had already gained friends. So it was like, I had to do it.
Okay. So what is the purpose of A Journey to a Better Me?
So A Journey to a Better Me is an outlet, a space for like-minded women to be inspired and motivated to be a better self.
If you don't tell me more.
Okay. I didn't want to take over. I'm trying
to. No. It's not about taking over. This is your platform for you to just talk about all your greatness and where you're going and what you do. It's not about me, but it's all about you. So go ahead. This is a perfect place for you to ramble.
Well, I had jotted down something that really came to me this morning that I felt was powerful. It said, what is a journey to a better me? Life being inspired by the good, the bad, and the ugly. When you look at life as a journey, you have to expect bumps. Knowing is half the battle. So when you think about journey, you think about going somewhere.
Yeah.
To get there, it would be impossible not to run into a hurdle or two. It's how you deal with the hurdle. People in life seem to always look at the response. They don't pay enough attention to the reason. On that journey, that's when you kind of delve in around like-minded individuals. And when you feel a part of something, it gives you motivation. Yeah. And I want to create that outlet, that space that would provide resources, food, jobs, therapeutic services, housing. I feel if you have the resources to arm yourself to be better, there's no other choice but to do what needs to be done.
That's powerful. So ultimately what I'm hearing is that you're taking this, it came as an inkling of an idea while on a long train ride, as most great ideas usually happen. And then it's like, boom, now I have the base for this organization where you're going to be providing all these social services to individuals as a support system to make sure they're having a well-rounded life. Correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. But in order for me to have gotten to that boom, I had a lot of hurdles. So it was either I was going to sulk, complain, and sit in complacency of the hurdles, or I was going to do something about it. So the journey started and it's still going on through me. So what I'm saying is it wasn't just a boom. It was a collab of so many things going on in my life that I decided it's time to take a stance and accept it. You know, you could sit and complain and fuss about all of the tasks that you have to do. But at the end of the day, don't they still have to be done?
Yeah.
So when you look at life as a journey, you take on each task instead of it being a complaint or an issue. You start to become motivated to solve them. And what happens next? It's productivity. It's inspiration, it's motivation, because you know when you get a compliment, what does that do? That feeds your ego.
Sure does.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So now when you complete tasks, you start to feel good about yourself and you want to complete more tasks, not put more on your plate. You know, you want to do what you can handle and still have that self-love and be aware of what you need to take a second back from and what you can give yourself to, because that's where I'm falling, you know, with unforeseen circumstances with life. You have to find that balance. But once you found it, having the motivation and the inspiration, it makes it so much easier to get the job done.
I can agree wholeheartedly. I think my last VIP collective session was talking about getting it done. And it was all about looking past the barriers. I actually did a random live yesterday, and I spoke a lot about that with the issue of people not having trust to be able to move through what we think is blocking us instead of going around it, going over it, or kicking ourselves through it, right? And we get stuck and we don't actually move. And then we become complacent where life is. You know how many people actually live currently in life and they're completely complacent where they are, and they're not even anywhere where they're supposed to be at this point, but they don't trust themselves enough to move forward.
Well, that is correct, because that takes a lot of trust. Because you have a foundation now that you become complacent with, and you're asking them to move from out of it. But the uncomfortable is what is going to take you to be more comfortable. Yeah. And in your mind, you're not thinking that. You're like, hey, it's not broken. I'm not going to fix it. But if you take yourself outside that box and motivate yourself for more, then you start to yearn it. You start to yearn to be productive and inspire other people and see the productivity all around you. You build your own community.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, because you know how I'm big on networking and collaboration and connecting with others, because it's such a magical experience, like those type of opportunities. But I think that people don't value the concept of network and what that looks like and how you connect with others and human interaction, because ultimately we are meant to actually engage with each other. Nobody's here on the island, and you can't get anywhere on the island. So you need to be able to connect with other individuals so you can actually move forward and be successful. So I want to talk a little bit more about your actual group that you do have on Facebook that I am part of and stuff like that. So what is the purpose and your intentions behind that space, and what people can gain from actually joining the space with you?
So first and foremost, I have core values that I want to implement inside of this organization. Leading by example, being the change, being trustworthy. You just said that earlier. Look at that. Standing autonomously, not wavering. That's remembering who you are.
Yeah.
Communication, not justification. People get stuck there. They always want to give you an answer and a reason why something's not happening.
The story.
Just look at the person and say, okay, make some changes. You don't always have to have a rebuttal, agree to disagree. And lastly, being emotionally rational. That's managing your feelings appropriately, because we all know you can go from 0 to 100. And what happens at that 100? It can destroy so many other things. And for what? Temporary satisfaction could cause a lifetime of pain.
Ooh.
So when you are intuitive to what you're feeling and recognizing your emotions, not just saying you're mad, and you might be sad, not saying you're upset and you're just frustrated. That is something that's a whole nother conversation for people to identify different emotions. But when you get to that place and you're able to appropriately identify what you're going through, you can diffuse the situation before it becomes something that's out of control. But it's easier said than done. But like I said, I'm on a journey.
So tell me, in your biggest dreams of in the future, because I'm all about dreaming big and where you ultimately are trying to go. So where do you see this organization in the next 4 years, 4 to 5 years? Where is it going?
4 to 5 years, I want to build it.
Oh, yes.
Off the top, I want to build it. Okay. I want a journey to a better me building.
Hold on, do me a favor. I want you to restate that for me. I want you to say, I want a building. Is that I'm going to have a building, please.
I'm going to have a building.
Thank you. Intentions, baby, intentions.
Yes, manifestation.
All day long.
Within that building, of course, I want to create resources. My foundation, I'm going to get. Right now, we're in the stages of forming it. And within that foundation, I want to provide resources that is going to be able to help women in the directions that they need to go. So now what I'm doing is trying to target the appropriate audience. Because for me, women, period, ethnicity, I would say an age of becoming a woman. Once you identify as a woman, I would take that on as the age frame, however you take that. So if you're 16 and you're emancipated, you're on a journey as a woman. So that's where I'm targeting women, ethnicity. Now, as far as definitively stating for which audience, I would like it to be whole, but I do know that I have some more thinking as far as which definitive audience I want to target.
Okay, that's interesting. So is this something that's going to be based in Brooklyn?
Well, this is we're in technology, so we can be all over. But of course, the building, yes, we're being Brooklyn.
Okay, so your building is going to be in Brooklyn.
You said the next 4 years. So
yeah, I'm giving you 4 years. I'm giving you 4 years because you're still in the infant stage of it. You had this idea, you have the concept and everything else like that, and you're starting to move. You're getting a following. People are coming in because a lot of engagement in your group. There's a lot of conversation in your group. People are really following and in tune with the opportunity to be within that space. And I strongly suggest other people come in there because it's also a safe space. You can come in and talk about anything. People talk about random stuff in that space, right? It feels safe and secure, which is a good look to have. And I'm just looking forward to what this building and how this going to manifest is going to be part of of your actual community, because you're such a powerhouse of personality and strength and all those other beautiful things. And to put that within a space, I think this is going to be spectacular, ultimately.
I appreciate that compliment. I mean, coming from you, I admire you.
Oh,
I just want to say that. I truly admire you. Are a powerhouse. Seriously. When I met you, I felt the positive energy for you to put alpha women in one room, and we exuded positivity and fed off of each other. Yeah. Did you mention to people that there was absolutely no violence, absolutely no negative interactions? This was such a powerful week, and no one wanted it to end. Mm-hmm. So to be a force, with all your help, because your help was amazing. But to have that, I was so inspired. And here I am.
Yeah, that is so exciting. I'm excited to hear how you've actually gotten so much further in about 18 months since the last retreat. Yeah. And it's really exciting as we step into retreat weekend, which is why I actually was really happy to put you on this particular Tuesday, because we met at the retreat last year. Yep. And that was our first interaction with each other. Didn't know you from nowhere. You was like, I'm coming to this event, even though my friend can't make it. I was like, all right, I'll see you. And you came through the door and everybody fell in love with you instantly in all your energy, right? And it's been amazing ever since. Yes. So, so talk about some other things. I know your daughter's also a published author. Enjoyed her book. She did my event as well. You have a couple of kids going to college, because you're also a mom, which is important. So talk about how it's been as a parent, and especially a parent to daughters, because you have beautiful daughters. Yes. How does that play a role with this type of organization for you? And what are you expecting for them to gain from watching you elevate in this way?
Well, raising 4 daughters, might I ask, is not an easy task, but it's a task I take on with so much joy. My daughter's it's 4 daughters: Sierra, who's 22, Sanaya, who's 18, Serenity, who's 13, and Siani, which we call Mary Pearl, who's recently 9. So having 4 daughters, I must tell you, you have to have structure. You have to have structure, and you have to have consistency. Yes. The second that you're not consistent, for lack of better words, you show weakness. And in my household, we don't run a household that has to use physical restraints for anything. But I have shown from when they were young that my strength is me, and they respect me. So what I run actually is it's under something I learned at a previous job called the Polsky Diamond. So it's the leader, the lieutenant, the member, and the scapegoat. So as long as we understand that there's levels to this and everyone plays a part, we have a conducive environment.
Okay. I hear that.
I bought the job home and it worked.
Sometimes, listen, we can learn something everywhere, and you never know what you can implement in your home and your relationship, anytime and space, right? Because everything's a learning experience, right? We talk about that within your journey, right? Yeah. So what can you gain from your journey on just on random Tuesday? What can you gain from that Tuesday that's going to be beneficial for tomorrow? right? Because it's great opportunity with that, because you never know, right? Every moment is a teachable moment as far as I'm concerned,
that is
right?
true.
And so you just never know what you could take in. So I think that's really, really cool that you were able to bring that in into your own household, to be able to create that within the space, because having that many girls in one space can be very complicated.
Right. And it shows in their personalities. If we're having a disagreement, they'll say, can I take time to self? That nice. For lack of better words is, give me a second. But once you say it appropriately, all you can do is respect it. So when someone's asking for time to self, what can you say after that? You have to respect that. So even though they're children, and some people don't give children the respect that they should have because of their age, once you take that out of the equation, that you're a child and your respect level is lower than mine, that's not effective communication. Respect is on all levels. A 2-year-old, a 20-year-old, they all deserve respect. You know why? Because you want respect.
Listen, don't get me on this whole thing where parents who, or even individuals who sit here and they demean children based off their age. It kills me. It kills me, and I, especially as an early childhood educator, I'm big on that with children. And like children, like we walk through our program, though, they have rights. They're 6 months old, they have rights. Their rules do matter. How their feelings do matter. So we make sure we're actually reaching them and gaining what they need, and by building these trusting, loving relationships. That is just so important with children. And it's so funny because even my son, I'm big on communication with him like that too, through years of therapy and things that we went through. I found that he's open and honest, and he knows how to explain to me if he was triggered by something. If, for instance, something happened. Wow, that's excellent. Yeah, he comes to me, he was like, you know what? I wasn't comfortable with the situation that somebody put me in, and it triggered me. And I was like, really? He said, but I could have overreacted because I was uncomfortable by the person that was in the space. But it's like, that's the type of conversation I'm having with my 17-year-old.
But you know what that is? That's communication. And unfortunately, not everyone has the communication tool. So along with him being able to advocate what he's feeling, you need to be able to receive that.
Listen, some things sometimes I have to really receive things in a way that he says sometimes, but I have to respect it, because I'm just happy that he's able to communicate that way. He's not going to walk into relationships in his 20s and not be able to sit here and say, okay, listen, this is how I want to be treated, how I need to be respected, because I'm going to give you the same type of respect. And I demand I put you in the space in my relationship with me where I want you to communicate with me. I'm trying to, listen, my king is going to be strong out here. And he doesn't have time to have individuals part of his story who he can't communicate with, because poor communication causes so much stress, and you can't get anywhere with poor communication. No. Anywhere, not in the workspace, not in the home space.
Well, you can get to dysfunction. You can get to dysfunction without communication.
That's a big word, dysfunction. But there's some people who like keeping and holding on to dysfunction, right? Because that's the only way they feel normal.
Well, so that brings me on to protecting your peace.
Go, girl.
Yeah, I'm learning on this journey that not everyone will make it. It's no love lost. We have to understand that there's a lot of people you have to love from afar, because when it comes to a place that you're being taken out of a character that you're working so hard to be, protect your peace by any means necessary. When you start altering or making little, I'm stumbled for words, but letting someone in, your peace is now at risk. And when you're at risk, it's a liability. So for me now on this journey, I must protect my peace. And you can fully understand with us having platforms, this Facebook Live, we're opening up ourselves to receive criticism, receive positivity, of course, is what we want. But let's be honest, we're opening up ourselves to be vulnerable to whatever other people's thoughts are. So you now have to train yourself that foundation I was talking about, to be mentally prepared to agree, to disagree. When you get to that place and you can respect that this person has a right to have an opinion. You understand? You have that right, but I have my right as to how I receive it. So if I feel that you don't teach me, make me laugh, or I can't teach you, we will never have another conversation. I will always be cordial and I have to be respectful. That's just me. But as far as elaborating on a conversation, there's no need, because what's going to come next? That word we said earlier, dysfunction.
Ooh. You warmed up now. That energy is just coming straight across the screen. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's just, I don't know how to even respond to that. It was so powerful. So powerful. So powerful. But, people just need to show up as their best self, right?
Yes.
And that protecting your peace thing is a big deal. I had some transitions with some individuals over the weekend, and I realized that it tapped me out. And I was like, ooh, this is why I separated myself so long ago.
Right.
And
some people call it that third eye. Some people call it your gut. Some people call it your intuition. But when you tap into that there, let me tell you something. The road becomes a lot smoother. Mm-hmm. Because now, instead of you saying, I should have listened to myself. How many times you said that? Oh, man, mm-hmm. You knew. You know why? Because that gut, that third eye, that intuition, it gave you a glimpse. Go the other way. Don't do it. Yep. Stay away. When you choose to go against what your body told you, look what happened.
Listen, I've learned my lesson many moons ago. I listen to it all the time. I used to have vivid dreams all the time. The universe blessed me with dreams, and I would never really listen to them. Like, oh, that's just a dream. And now, please let me dream about something. I'm like, listen, this is what I dreamt about.
Right.
And we need to make these changes. This needs to happen this way, because the universe is always giving me that energy.
And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for giving yourself that credit that you, if a lady told you for $20, you would believe her. So what makes you any different than believing in yourself? And this is what this journey is about. Helping women, inspiring women to motivate themselves, because it's impossible for a journey to a better me to be a building that's going to just save you. This is a building that is created for a safe space. But within this space, we are going to motivate each other. This is a village. This is not just me. I'm the face. I'm the creator. But I definitely want to give credit to a team, because together we're going to inspire all of the women who want to be inspired. That's another thing. You got to want it. You got to want the change. You can't make someone see that they should change, or you can't make someone want to change. The first step is that they have to want to change. They have to want more. Now, once they come to you with that, and you supply them with resources, you give them motivation, encouragement, and inspiration, what happens next? They start to bloom. Yeah. You ever tried to lose weight and you start losing a little weight, and then what does it do? It inspires you to keep going. But when you don't see no weight being lost, you kind of slide back.
Stagnant, like, maybe it's my age.
I'm metabolism.
All these back doors for yourself, and why you're not actually losing the weight. Yeah, trust me, I know. Right. We all been there one day or two. Yeah. So, Rose, this has been such a phenomenal conversation. Yes. I didn't know where it was going to go. I usually never know where any of my conversations were going to go from the beginning. And I think this has been a really good one. So if people want to connect with you and join your group and start really watching this progress of this movement as we move into starting to prepare for building, how can they find you?
I'm on Facebook, A Journey to a Better Me, the number 2. I'm on Instagram, A Journey to a Better Me 2022. And I also have A Journey to a Better Me at gmail.com. Now, I'm in the forming stage, so the website will be coming soon, but everything will be on those platforms to keep up with me.
All right, perfect. So one last word for all the viewers out there today. Give them something. I know you're going to say something good.
Yes. I want you all to know that on this journey, I want to inspire women to remember who you are so you can shine like a star. Keep your eyes on the prize and your back to the wind, and be true to yourself so it can bring you nothing but great wealth. You are beautiful. You are worth more to be better.
First of all, when are we writing a book?
I have a book coming out of my Sunday messages. So I send out motivational messages every Sunday, which I was kind of nervous to put you in. I felt like you were too busy. I don't know why I have this like concept like you're a celebrity.
First of all, I'm a normal person.
I know.
I am a human. And I want these type of messages in my life. I can use them on a Sunday.
Okay.
Because my Sunday is always like, ooh, it's almost Monday. Yeah, Sundays are great. Give me those messages. And everybody else, whoever wants to be on this list, please email her and ask to be on the list so we can get that energy.
I have 78 people and I send it out individually every Sunday. So what I'm going to do is at the end of the year that's coming up, I'm taking all those messages and I am going to create my first book.
Okay. I'm excited about that because I'm going to buy it. We should do big posters and frames and a whole bunch of other stuff too. But I'm saying we can talk about it all.
Yes.
All right. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. Yes, this is retreat weekend. It starts this Friday. Rose will be, and I'll be there to touch Rose in real life for the whole weekend for our Southern Comfort, our conference, our brunch. I'm really, really excited about it. We got a new fun, great house. It's huge and a nice location.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's really, really big. Very, very excited about the place and all the stuff that we're going to do. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Check us out next week, Tuesday, for our next mini expo. I'll be actually posting up about 5 videos because I haven't posted a video in about 5 weeks on my YouTube channel. It's Black or Everything LLC. Follow me. I have a fundraising event for the Daisy Dream Project coming up on 10/21. Please come out, show out. And what else I got going? Oh, I'm giving away $1,000. Yes, I am. For Buy Black on Friday. You buy your tickets via my website. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. Good night.
Thank you all. Have a great night.